Hi everyone, and welcome back to Coffee, Books, and Rain, where it's actually supposed to rain a little bit later this evening, and you will see that instead of coffee, I have a little guest co-host. This is Leo. He is a little rescue that I got about a year ago from here in Huntsville from Rocket City Rescue. He is about 7 years old. I'm not certain too much about his past life before me. There is some speculation he may have come from a possible puppy mill situation. I'm not sure, but he is safe and sound here with me, and the reason I brought him onto this channel today, and why I'm a little Umbreon today, is because we are talking about a book that I specifically picked up because it had a little Yorkie on the cover. And as you can clearly tell, he's a little nervous. He's not certain what he's doing here right now, so we're going to try to move through this 15 minutes pretty quickly so we don't stress him out too much. He usually does lay on the bed with his brother or wander around the apartment, whatever he feels like doing. He is the best little boy. He is really quiet. As you can clearly tell, he is having a moment where he is just not certain what's going on. He's probably also not certain about this general costume either. So, little buddy, are we ready to talk to them about more the Terrier? Are we ready to see how this little situation goes? Yeah? Yeah? You gonna be safe and sound? I'll keep my arm around you, okay? Just to make sure you feel okay. All right, well, we're going to try to get through this without stressing him out too much. So, The More the Terrier by David Rosenfelt is an Andy Carpenter novel. Now, according to Goodreads, this is number 30, so I am coming in a little bit late to the David Rosenfelt I guess, bandwagon or train, so to speak. But I do think after reading this one, I am joining this party, because not only did it look like all of his other books have dog-related theming to them in some way, it also has some crime solving, mystery solving from the perspective of possible like lawyer situation. So I really enjoyed that and had a really good time reading this novel. I did have this as an audiobook from NetGalley, so that also went pretty quickly. It's about 300 pages in a hardback. I want to say it was maybe 8 hours in my audiobook. I don't think it took me too long. And it comes out October 15th of 2024. I had a really great time, like I said, with this. And the reason that the little Yorkie mix comes into play in this particular book, I'll just go ahead and give you, like, I don't feel like it's a spoiler, is that I'll kind of give you the little part that kind of drew me in, I guess you could say. The next installment of David Rosenfelt's best Andy Carpenter series brings a lone pup to his doorstep. But when it comes to dogs, the more the Terrier. And so that little sentence right there, putting a Terrier on the cover, and poor little guy, he looks so traumatized. Putting a little Yorkie on the cover, and then saying that one just wanders up to your doorstep, I'm like, yes, please, because I think that's how he kind of wandered into my life. I found him on Pet Finder and found he was local. Went and met up with the rescue, loved him from first sight. He's very passive, very quiet. He is very nervous and very skittish about a lot of things, but my household here is very quiet, very relaxed, and the other puppy that we have, Argos, is also very calm, very chill. So he's able to kind of go ahead and have a very, I guess, hopefully serene, I guess, senior living lifestyle. He does get his food and his water put on the bed for him where he wants. In my mind, he was never kenneled when he came to me. I don't know if he was kenneled previously in his life, but when he came to me, he felt safe being on the bed. I guess it was cozy. I guess he could see a lot of different things. And also, that's where his brother wanted to be, so he also felt safe near his brother. So, that's where they enjoy being. They can see out the window, they can see into the rest of the apartment pretty well. And so, he does pretty good. Are you doing okay? I'm about to do their Christmas card in a few weeks. I have been working tirelessly on building an actual gingerbread house to take their picture. But anyway, reluctant lawyer Andy Carpenter is relieved to be headed back to Patterson, New Jersey, after a week-long family vacation in the Adirondacks. He's ready to put the holly jolly season behind him. So this is again the more the Terrier. It is Christmas setting, but it's not really related to Christmas. So even though it looks like it is Christmassy themed, it's really just the timing the book is set in, but it's not really required to be read around Christmas. You can if you want to, but it doesn't really play into the book that much. And so find his way home, settling in at home with his 3 dogs. But when he arrives, there's an extra dog eagerly awaiting them, as well as one anxious dog sitter. When the dog showed up on the doorstep a few days ago, the sitter knew Andy would know what to do. Indeed, Andy recognizes Murphy, who the Carpenters fostered once before, and went home with B.J. Brimmer and his mother. B.J. wanted to learn all he could about caring for Murphy, which made Andy like him immediately. When Andy goes to take Murphy back to the Brimmers, though, he instead of the happy reunion, finds BJ's mother in tears. It turns out Murphy ran off after BJ was arrested for murder. Ooh. Andy had hoped for a quiet Christmas vacation, but he likes Murphy's family, and his golden retriever Tara likes Murphy. So he can't resist getting involved. This case isn't as simple as Andy thought it would be, though. With BJ suspected of murdering one of his professors, with nothing to go on but Andy's own conviction, in BJ's dog-loving character, proving his innocence would be a Christmas miracle. So we're kind of going to stop there with regards to the summary, and we're going to dive into my review. This is considered a mystery crime book. It says it's a thriller suspense. I'm not sure. When it comes to suspense and thriller, I feel like there should be like some running and jumping, and we're like dodging bullets and stuff. Now there are some Russian mafia involved. There are some hackers involved. There's some things like that involved. So I guess in some respect you could kind of say there are some aspects of thriller suspense. In some ways so Andy is he's a defense lawyer. So he is not part of the prosecution team who is trying to put BJ in jail permanently. So Andy is trying to hopefully get BJ off the hook for this murder. And he looks into the case, and from Andy's perspective, it is really circumstantial at best. However, there's not really a great deal of other suspects that it could feasibly be yet. But Andy is determined to try to provide some reasonable doubt as to why BJ is the less likely suspect within this case. So he starts digging into this case, and man, does this case get really, really complicated. There is so much going on. There's some metaverse related things involved. We go through some financial stuff. We have to do some backdoor exploring through people's computers and all sorts of things. So there are a lot of different aspects with regards to this book. But it does go very quickly, and I would say my one kind of critique for this book is there is just a lot going on. And I'm not sure if he did that in order to kind of make it feel as though it was more girthy in length, but I do feel as though it was just a little bit too much. That was probably my one thing, because ultimately, like, I'm not going to spoil it because, again, it's coming out like pretty soon, or by the time I drop this episode, it may have been out for like maybe a week or so. So, just want to kind of like let you know about that. But, I'm not trying to give away any spoilers. I wish Murphy was a little bit of a bigger, portion of this, or the dogs in general. But I do love that David Rosenfelt kind of has dogs be a linchpin, or kind of a key point in most all of his books. They're all titled very, like, I don't want to say similarly, but in some sort of doggy related pun or theming, which is really great. I did click on his name because I wanted to know more about the other books as well as himself, and he does seem to have like 27 rescue dogs or something like that. It was absolutely brilliant. So kudos to him for being such an advocate for rescue dogs, and for helping puppies find homes, because that was another reason I wanted to bring little Leo onto this channel today. Is I want to highlight that adopting, don't shop, because even Argos, who's over there asleep on the bed, I couldn't put both of them on the bed, they just wouldn't fit. He's also a rescue. He came from a shelter, or I also found him on Pet Finder. His litter was surrendered when he was a puppy, and so he was at a shelter, or a rescue somewhere in Louisiana while I was living in Mississippi, and they met me halfway. And I was able to get him from them, and I've had him pretty much since he was about 8 or 10 weeks old. Again, got him only last September, and he turned 7 in January of this year, 2024. And I will keep both of them through their entire lives. They are happy, healthy. The vet says they look great. Argos did just get diagnosed with diabetes last year, but he turned 12 in September, so he is just working through that, but he is balanced and doing great on that as well. But as for this book, I highly recommend it if you enjoy kind of crime novels from the perspective of a defense lawyer who is willing to go to bat for their client. I also kind of recommend this because it is a little tongue-in-cheek. He is willing to go the extra distance. There are some really fun additional characters involved as well, who are willing to blur those lines of black and white, to go over into those darker shades of gray, just to try to help BJ come home to his mom for that Christmas miracle. And so, and especially for Murphy, and try to bring his boy home, because it's so cute the way they kind of figure out that it's Murphy, because Andy has a son early in the book that there's nothing happens to Andy's son. I'm just saying that early in the book, when Andy and his family come home and like they realize, well, this looks like Murphy. Andy's son, when they had fostered Murphy, had taught Murphy a little trick, and so when he says it, Murphy gets so excited, and that's how they realize it's the dog they know. So it's really cute. Had a great time reading it. Definitely think I'm going to be reading more from this author, and will be probably trying to find more from this author as well. It looks like it's got some really fantastic reviews as well currently in Goodreads, which I 100% agree with all of them. Like, honestly, I will do anything to support a dude who rescues dogs, and probably spends all his money just like making sure they have a good home as well. But everybody else also seems to be having a great time with it. I don't think I'll be like, I'm not gonna have like a whole shelf of David Rosenfelt books, but I definitely think I'm going to be recommending these to people who want a light read, who might like crime novels to read that are a little bit less heavy hitting. And there is a little reference to David Rosenfelt himself as a writer within the book, which was also kind of funny as well. So there's also a little bit of like self-gratification in there, which is kind of funny. I kind of had a chuckle at that. But anyway, I want to thank you so much for joining me on this particular episode. I thought about I was gonna have a coffee with me, but I thought since I had a little co-pilot today, I would go ahead and maybe not have the coffee, because then I would just be double fisting a lot of different things and holding, like, I wanted to make sure he felt safe, so I kind of had my little arm around him just to make sure he didn't feel like he was gonna go anywhere. And a coffee would have just sat here and probably not got drink. It would not have been consumed, at least for the moment. But if you'll tune in for the next episode, then I will probably have a coffee as well. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you will like and subscribe. I hope you like the Umbreon outfit that I really like. I do have a tail that is currently attached to me somewhere back here. I don't know, you can't see it. There it is. It's really cute. But anyway, thank you so much, and I hope I will see you guys on the next page. Have a great one. Bye.